I'm Alicia and today I'm going to show you how to draw a pangolin. So let's get started. Firstly, we're going to mark on the head of the pangolin. So this is a small circle that we're going to draw on the left hand side of the page, just like so. Then from this we're going to draw another circle, and this is going to be the front of the pangolin, so where its front legs are attached, its chest, that kind of area. We're going to draw it much bigger and kind of raised slightly, so like this. And then just next to that one, we're going to draw another one about the same size, slightly further down, just like so. And then we want to connect these 3 dots up. So for the first one, we're going to come down from the dot and make a cone shape, because this is the head of the pangolin. So essentially it's a triangle, just like this. And we're going to bring that in towards that circle. Then from the top of the small circle from your cone, we're going to bring that up and connect it with a line to your first big circle, because this is the kind of, I don't know, shoulder area of the pangolin, like that the front bit of its back. And then we're going to curve that round and then bring it back down towards the second circle. And then this circle's you're going to continue your line out into the tail of the pangolin. So it's just a slight curve, little flick up, and back down. And then we're going to bring this just back in, just like so. So you should have something that looks a little bit like a car with a trunk. Then once you've done this, you want to add the feet of the pangolin. So we're going to mark those on with a rectangle and then a little circle to where the paw is. So the first one is just coming down like this from this first circle, and the circle for the paw. The second paw, it's holding up quite near its face, so that's here. We're going to connect these 2 circles just with a line that goes up into the belly, and then we're going to bring that another rectangle with a circle where it's walking, and then one at the back just here, like so. So this is your rough outline for your pangolin. We are going to clear out some of these circles just because, so if you have a rubber, you can just mark them out, because we don't want those construction lines in anymore. But if you don't have a rubber, feel free to leave them in. We're going to mark on the ear of the pangolin next, which is just going to be a little arch line here. And just before your ear, we're going to mark on a little almond shape, and that's going to be the eye of the pangolin. Like so. And finally the nose, which is just a little circle here. Pangolins have scales. They're the only mammal that's completely covered in scales. So we're going to mark those on with some sort of little oblongs and triangles and just some little rough lines. So the face is kind of fine, but then they start becoming a little bit more jagged along its back. So from your line, you're going to just start doing this kind of motion, essentially a zigzag, just bringing out slightly some of those scales. And then that's particularly prominent on the underside of the tail, so we're going to really start adding some of those. Essentially a big zigzag line. And on the underside of its belly as well. And then bringing that into the paws. So the paws have quite sharp claws, so we're going to mark those on with some rounded triangles. So the front paw is holding up like this. The second paw, it's got them facing down. This paw it's holding, and this one it's got on the ground. And then on the body of the pangolin, we're going to start marking on those scales as well. So essentially we're just kind of going to be doing this sort of pattern. So lots of sort of zigzaggy lines. And you want to get them bigger as you progress down the body, because the scales get bigger. Pangolins are one of the most trafficked animals in the world because of their scales, so it's definitely important to highlight how covered in scales they are. Here you go. And then once you've got your pangolin covered in scales, you can either go over it in pen or start adding some colour, or you can add a little bit of shading, which is what I'm going to do now. So just on some of the scales, I'm just going to start cross-hatching slightly like this, just to make them a little bit more 3D. And you can do this as much as you want, just building your pangolin up. You can add some colour if you want. They tend to be a kind of browny, orangey colour. But honestly, at this point, you can do what you like with your pangolin. So I hope you enjoyed drawing this.